W&L has been a leader in experiential education for a long time, and the faculty is really invested in this model of education where the students are acting as lawyers. One of the ways we do this is every student is guaranteed a clinical or externship opportunity before they graduate. We have 6 in-house live client clinics where students are actually working on the representation of people. Those are all supervised by faculty here in-house, but the students are actually representing people in actual cases. Our practicum courses are simulation courses in which students play the role of a lawyer in a simulated case, and those run the gamut from litigation to transaction in all different areas of the law. Aside from that, we've got a robust externship program where students are working in prosecutors' offices, judges' chambers, federal agencies in DC, nonprofit organizations around the area, and a wide variety of things. And in addition, we have transnational offerings where students are working with lawyers and legal professionals in other countries.
We have full-time members of the faculty who teach in the classroom, but also direct clinics, and they're able to connect the lessons that the students learn in the classroom in the cases of their client.
One of the ideas of what we're trying to do here is to let students fail under the supervision of a faculty member. And when I say let them fail, I mean let them experiment. Because we would rather have them tackle these tough issues and these difficult situations while they're in law school with somebody working with them, as opposed to in the first few years of practice.
This is the first time that students are applying the substantive law and procedural law that they learn in the classroom in the lives of real people. And there's nothing like making a real-life connection with a client to bring those rules of law and procedures to life.
I had the opportunity this year to be one of the students in the clinic that got to advocate for 2 Virginia inmates before the Virginia Parole Board. And being able to meet with the parole board representative and be able to organize members of the inmate's family to testify on their behalf, I realized I was putting together an actual case in working with clients, in working with people providing testimony, and working with not a judge, but an adjudicator who could make political and legal decisions. And I realized how much the school had prepared me to do that type of work.
They have to work closely with their clients to learn the art of counseling somebody without telling them what to do, and to learn the distinction between presenting options and nudging somebody versus making a decision for the client, which is not their role. So that's a real art, and I think our students in the tax clinic get a lot of experience working with that.
The students get the opportunity to take on complicated and novel legal issues and analyze them and figure out the best way to make an argument, and then to research it and write it. And those are skills which are transferable to most areas of legal practice.
For my first client ever, we went to trial. He decided to turn down a plea agreement and fight his charges in court. And it turned into this full-blown trial. I didn't expect it to be as formal as it was. The whole time I'm just thinking, I can't believe he bet on me and that he trusted me with his case. It was this real moment of clarity in the middle of trial where I thought, this is it. I made the right choice. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Students really understand not just what the law means in the world around them, but they start to develop notions of justice, really seeing how the law affects people when it's applied.
It's really a great confidence building experience, and it's an experience that I'll be able to take with me the first year of my job and 10 years into my job and 30 years into my job after graduation.